The fascinating part about science is it's always evolving. We're always finding out more. Even if it's things we thought we knew for sure, sometimes those things are wrong. And sometimes they don't make headlines. So today, I'm going to tell you 5 amazing reptile facts I bet you don't know and will blow your mind. My name's Adam, this is Diamond. You're watching Wickens Wicked Reptiles. Stick around. I'm just going to start it off right away. This is not clickbait. Bearded dragons are venomous. That's number 5. Rattlesnakes are venomous too. And what those two things have in common, bearded dragons and rattlesnakes, is along the line, many evolutions ago, they came from the common ancestor. The same molecules that are found in venom from a rattlesnake are found in a bearded dragon's venom as well, just much smaller and of course different. When I was growing up, snakes are venomous and lizards aren't. And of course we know beaded lizards and Gila monsters, we've known for a long time, those are venomous, but a lot of people don't know that bearded dragons like this one right by my neck, well, he's venomous too. Now I said it's the same type of venom, it's similar and the same type of molecular structure, but they're obviously not the same. If my bearded dragon bites me, first of all, he doesn't have the right teeth. Hollow teeth that are basically hypodermic needles with a venom gland, and that's how, say, something like a viper, which is what they are, by the way, all rattlesnakes are pit vipers, inject you with that venom. But with bearded dragons, they don't inject you. But this is the same as a garter snake or a hognose snake. Garter snakes and hognose snakes also have venom, but their rear fangs, their fangs are at the back of their throat, some are smooth, some are grooved. But either way, they gnaw that venom into you. And with bearded dragons, the venom is just really, really mild. And to get sciencey here, crotamine is the substance that's both in rattlesnake venom and bearded dragon venom. I know I didn't explain that very well. You guys know what you're here for, right? You know this isn't Clinton's Reptiles. So this may have you think, well, is it still safe for me or my child? Yes, nothing has changed. This is the way it's always been. We just figured that out. So bearded dragons, first of all, are really unlikely to bite you. And if they do bite you, you're going to be fine. They have an anticoagulant in their saliva, as do I think all reptiles that I know of anyway, but they're completely safe. I promise you no one's dying because a bearded dragon bites them. It's just not going to happen. And in fact, an anticoagulant is good because all the bacteria that would be in that mouth, it's going to be whisked away by the blood. That's generally why I don't get infections when snakes or lizards bite you. But speaking of beasts, a few weeks ago, we did a video about dinosaurs, and in that research, I found a true beast, the game Beast Lord for mobile, and let me tell you, I am hooked. Beast Lord is this animal-themed strategy mobile game with a super realistic painting style. Picture this, over 500 unique animals up for grab, and you can mold them your way to be complete badasses. Personally, the T-Rex is obviously my favorite character, but there's lots more for you to choose from. Now, brace yourselves for the giant beast system. It's a whole universe packed with every dino you can dream of. Talking about T-Rex, the undisputed king of the dinos, Terrors, the OG bird ancestors, Carnos, Brack, you name it, they've got it. And if you're eyeing to train a T-Rex, you just gotta hit level 16 first. Then, boom, welcome to the world of the colossal beast. But listen up, if you're a new gamer, your first order of business is to lead your beast to conquer new continents, lay the groundwork for your kingdom, and gear up for some epic battles. Because mark my words, rival colonies are lurking. And to keep our kingdom on top, we gotta train our beasts, expand our turf, and claim that supremacy. Let's do it. And use code BL777. That's the exclusive treat I scored for Beast Studio, hooking us up with all the essential resources to kickstart our journey to greatness. Oh, and here's the kicker. If you hit that link down below, you can snatch this game up for yourself. Get in Beast Lord now, and right off the bat, you'll snag the Supreme Beast, the Lion, tomorrow. Trust me, you don't want to snooze on this golden opportunity. And for older gamers like me, let me know in the comments section, have you already got the T-Rex? I'll see you guys in the game. Number 4, not all rattlesnakes have rattles. In fact, there is one species right now that has evolved not to have rattles. The Santa Catalina rattlesnake. This is a rattlesnake that's found on an island off the coast of Baja, California, which is in Mexico. If you guys don't know, I guess I'll explain this first. The rattle in a rattlesnake is to ward off predators, first of all, and then just big ungulates, so hooved animals that are stomping around and they just don't want to get stepped on. So you hear the rattle and then you know, hey, I'm gonna get bit if I step over here. But there are no large predators on Isla Santa Catalina, so the island we're gonna call it. And there are no big hooved animals, so they don't have to worry about that. So the other thing with having a rattle is sometimes it rattles around when you don't want it to. So when you're looking for prey items and you're trying to be very silent, sometimes it'll hit something and then you're gonna have the buttons, which is what they're called, rattle, and then it scares away your prey. So the Santa Catalina rattlesnake has evolved to drop those buttons as soon as it sheds where the buttons would start. So basically there's a button at the very end and then more buttons. That's how it works with rattlesnakes. All of them fall off and there is no rattle. What's interesting about this snake also is most pit vipers, they will bite and then they will release, and then whatever that animal does, it'll die pretty quickly, and then they'll go find that animal and then they'll consume it. These animals don't. They bite and they hold. They have much longer, sturdier teeth than most rattlesnakes. So this is an evolutionary thing too, because they like to hunt up in shrubbery, so up off the ground. So if it's a flighted animal or something that might just fall, they're gonna have a hard time getting to it once they've succumbed to the venom. So instead what they do is they bite, they hold, and wait for the venom to knock their prey item out, and then they eat. Very cool snake, but they're only that one place in the world, and they are critically endangered with really not much in terms of conservation going on right now. Number 3, several species of reptiles, you can choose what sex they're gonna be when they're born. The example that I like is leopard geckos. It's called temperature sex determinant. So you can determine the sex of these animals based on the temperature that the eggs are incubated at. Now, this isn't 100% foolproof, but I've been breeding leopard geckos for, I guess, 10 years now, and I've never had a female come out when I incubated for males or a male come out when I incubated for females. More or less, and these are rough, right? So 79 degrees to about 83 degrees, if you incubate leopard geckos at that temperature, they are going to come out as females. If you go warmer, 87 to 89, you're gonna get almost all males. And then if you go somewhere in the middle, you'll get a mix of boys and girls, and then you can incubate at 91 and higher, and then you get these things called hyper-aggressive female leopard geckos that are born with tons of testosterone, and it's like a whole thing. I think I did a breeding guide right here for leopard geckos. If you want me to make more breeding guides, let me know in the comments section. I'll make them for you. There's several species of turtle that you can do this with as well, but I don't really want to beat this one up. This is kind of, you know, unless you breed these things, it's just a cool thing to know. Number 2, the smallest species of lizard in the world. Most people would think it's a gecko or something like that. We just did a video right here about the biggest geckos, and in that video I talk about how almost all geckos are super duper tiny, but the smallest species of lizard in the world is a Brachysia species. Brachysia micra, I believe, is the exact species, but Brachysia is a genus of chameleons, and they're basically small leaf chameleons. So in order to explain about the Brachysia that I found in Madagascar, let's just send it to me in Madagascar. Something we've been looking for and is difficult to find is Brachysia, and the reason is they're some of the smallest chameleons in the entire world. They don't get any bigger than this. Now this is a male right here. They're not very quick. They do have a prehensile tail, but it's not like the other tails that we've seen with like the O'Shaughnessy's and other chameleons like that. And that's because they're just so darn small. Something really cool about Brachysia is they have really big hemipenes. So these guys are definitely looking for ladies out here, and the ladies are looking for them. Now you can see on top of their eyes here, they've got kind of what look like horns. I don't know exactly why they have those. I would imagine that it's a mating thing. Bill, am I even close?
It's always to attract the babes. That is why everything exists.
So this guy is attracting babes with his head horns here right above his eyes. I think they look not really chameleon-esque. They almost look like a horned lizard or something like that. But of course they do have those chameleon features, like they have that prehensile tail, and they've got these really cool little hands that look like lobster claws. So we finally found one. And I don't know that my eyes are good enough to find another one. So what a beauty this guy is. And the number one cool thing, snakes have legs. So snakes don't technically have usable legs, conventional legs, like we have, but especially in boas and pythons, let's use those as the example, these animals have spurs at the back. And what that is if you look at a skeleton of a boa or a python species, you can see a hip structure or the remnants of a hip structure, because snakes evolved a long time ago from reptiles with legs, right? We're talking a long time ago, not yesterday or the time before that. So these spurs are the remnants of basically what they are is they're bone covered in keratin. So keratin is what your fingernails are made of. So they're little bones that are covered in keratin. They're spurs. And these spurs now are used for things like breeding. So when I was breeding Burmese pythons, I could see Kratos, my big male, walking his spurs along the back of the female. So this is really cool to see, and it was really easy to see because these are really big snakes in comparison to a lot of other species where they do the same thing, ball pythons for example, but it's just much smaller and much more difficult to see. So do snakes have legs that they can walk around on? No, but they definitely do have the remnants of legs, and you can see that in the spurs, which I think is really, really cool. Let me know in the comment section below a snake fact or reptile fact that you think I don't know. I'd love to let you know if I did or didn't, and if not, let's just share it with everybody else in the comment section. Please do hit like and subscribe, really helps, really appreciate it. And of course, thanks to Beastlord for sponsoring today's episode. If you haven't already, please consider signing up for the Patreon. You guys get videos early, discounts on merch, you guys get one-on-ones with me, I love that. All that for as little as $1 a month. And that's it, because I do videos twice a week. That means I'll see you in the next one.